detective. Thrill me.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Thrill Me podcast. We're getting extreme tonight with Vin Diesel. XXx from 2002. Now, just to put it out there, Jared's fucking pissed off because
I think we all were.
Jared, I believe, had a movie-going diet that had never had any Xander Cage in it.
No.
So you'd never see this picture?
Even being an action fan, I'd seen, the previews for XXx, and even at the time, I was a teenager still, and I was looking at the preview going, I can't do that.
So you've actually seen the one with the Ice Cube in it then, obviously?
No, I didn't either.
It's not Xander Cage.
I skipped the first one just on principle, and then the second one I was like, well, I haven't seen the first one, so I can't jump in the middle of the series.
Oh, there's a lot of continuity you need to know about. It's high quality stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking.
You don't want to miss all the fucking
And I
things,
believe when you saw a trailer for Xander Cage, you basically said, nah.
I pretty much blew up in the cinema. I was like, who the fuck asked for this?
I nearly started it by accident because I watched it on PSN, so I paid $4 for this turd. And I nearly started the wrong one. I'm like, oh, is this the right one? I clicked on it, and then I saw the year 2017. I'm like, how is that a thing? It's just
I don't know who was begging for it. Like, the return of Xander Cage on the poster is almost guaranteed to turn people away from the movie.
Everyone would be like, oh, return of who? No one wanted this. Anyway.
All his fans on YouTube.
So Jared's pretty pissed off.
I was very upset. I believe there was a text message back and forth with me kind of querying who put us up to this.
We were all angry.
Who did I need to write a strongly worded text message to?
The only bloke that wasn't in on the MSN chat was the bloke responsible.
Yeah, in my defence, I was looking for fresh action heroes because we've covered our faves a million times.
Missed it.
And unfortunately, this was the only one I could find of his.
We should have gone back to Thomas Jane.
Yeah, I know. We should have gone and see what Thomas has been up to.
Fucking Ong Bak or something. Like.
No, and I also was considering Statham, but then I went XXx. Oh, I remember this being alright.
Statham. Oh, hang on, we haven't done Vin Diesel. That's a good idea.
I'd rather watch Crank or something. And that's terrible as well.
The good thing is
I need adrenaline.
we're getting Vin out of the way tonight, but he's probably going to come in for a little bit of treatment. Is that fair?
It's fair to
say.
Okay, well, look, before we get into it, what have we been watching? I'm going to knock mine out real fast. I went and saw The Meg, so I'm not going to say anything about that because I believe we're going to do an episode. Is that correct?
Okay.
So
I've already put
I'll
myself through
steer
it.
clear of that.
I'm going to pay to watch it. Oh, man.
I also...
Man, you better do it on time.
Hopefully you can still catch it in 3D. Apparently it's pretty decent.
Oh, really? And the only other things for me were I had to do a little bit of trading off with the wife. So to get Equaliser 2 through, so I went and saw Equaliser 2. Not bad. Denzel, mate.
Can't get wrong.
He never makes... Like, his characters have always got enough going on to make them not just stock standard action heroes.
Is he getting to the point where he's too fat to be believable as any?
No, but he's closing in.
He's
sneaking up on him.
He's closing in.
skilled as an actor, though, that him phoning it in is just like his quality performance.
Well, put it this way: there's a sequence. The film is by the numbers, but there's a sequence in the middle because this whole relationship that he has with a young bloke who lives in the apartment building he's in. And there's a sequence in the middle where he goes to get him, and you can just they have it out. They have a sort of a
drink. Anyone?
That was stealthy.
They actually have it out, like they have a sort of an emotional scene together, and Denzel he nails it, mate. This is why he's so good. That stuff, it brings weight. But I had to do a trade-off. The trade-off was The Greatest Showman.
Oh. My wife tried to put me up to it with the kids.
Look, it's actually not that bad.
He's so
I'm a massive Hugh Jackman fan. The bloke's a champion.
Yeah.
So that got
doesn't
me
make the movie good.
I will cop that.
Some would say Vin Diesel's a nice bloke.
Put it this way.
People by the sound of things.
Put it this way, mate. There is a hell of a lot worse I probably could have been put through. Sure. I was all right.
Yeah, I got put through it today.
And that's it.
Yep, that was easy.
So it was a pretty easy week.
I've got an even thinner week than that. I started Freddy 7.
Hang on, is that New Nightmare?
Nice. Oh, you were 6, weren't you?
It was nice. I got halfway through 6 and didn't finish it.
brushed it.
You told me to brush it. You said it was rubbish.
mate. What
I said it was rubbish, but I wanted you to watch it.
So the one that I was watching was the one where they're making a movie of
Yes, New Nightmare.
That's the
Yeah,
7?
New Nightmare.
Yeah, that was so self-indulgent. I didn't finish it. I haven't got through it.
That's one of the better ones.
It is one of them.
Is it?
Yeah, because it's kind of like circumventing. It's called like meta almost.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
The acting was bad.
Oh yeah. Well, they're not actors. No,
None of the scenes felt connected. It looked like, oh god. Anyway, and then
the street, I think.
so I started that. I got onto Disenchantment, which is the new Matt Groening one. Yeah, so I'm about like 8 out of the 10 episodes into that. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
There's one scene in there with there's like a hag version of Tinkerbell in it, and she's like prostituting herself out of this hollow of a tree, and a robin rocks up in a suit and the briefcase, and she's like, "Come on in." So it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
So is it really? It's going down there.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's more Futurama than Simpsons, absolutely.
Okay.
But it's a lot. It's pretty close to Futurama, but it's just got some funny little bits in it that is just like so wrong that it's right. Yeah.
Jesus.
But that's literally been my week. I got through those and that's it.
Right. Well, I've got finished off Archer Dreamland. Yeah.
No, it's gone off, has it?
Oh, it's just the same shit, man, over and over again. Like, I don't know how many times we can do the whole, wait, I'm sculling alcohol, I've got my finger up. All the same jokes are used in every single episode, and it's getting a bit old. It was just a weird one. I've started watching The Shooter, season 3 on Netflix. About 4 or 5 episodes in. They're running out of ideas for the story.
Yeah, well, it's been cancelled.
Yeah, it's not, there's nothing there for it. I watched the most recent season of Orange is the New Black.
I watched a bit of that.
No, there's much there either, is there?
Nah, just because I've started, I've got to keep going until
I didn't mind it.
cancel
Like in the middle, it got a bit better. I haven't finished
it reminds me of The Walking Dead, where they go the same beats just with different characters over and over again. You know, this person doesn't like this one, they're trying to stab him in the back. There's a big scheme to get someone. The first of my 2 penance watches this week. I watched Geostorm. Fuck. Mate.
You have had in back-to-back weeks. You've gone with fucking King Arthur, and then
King Arthur shits on Geostorm. King Arthur looks like Citizen Kane compared to Geostorm. Dead set. Is one of the worst written, shoddily special effect. Like, it's so bad.
I've never even heard of it.
Gerard Butler.
It's Gerard Butler doing
I hate
the
Gerard
day
Butler.
after tomorrow sort of thing, or whatever. It's nonsense.
It's those two bloody bozos, Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin, who have been making the same movie every 4 years.
Let's make some snow come out in the middle of the desert and everyone will be amazed. No, mate. It's fucking
Why they
so
keep getting
dumb.
hundreds of millions of dollars, I don't know.
Oh, that was massively painful. The other one I spoke to Adam and Maddie about earlier, I watched with Riley today as my sort of buy-in to be able to watch XXX, which was not a good transaction. I had to sit through Bad Mums 2.
You got ripped off.
Oh no.
Bad Mums 2, also in the top 10 worst movies I've seen in a long, long time.
Do you two hate each other at the moment? Is it?
She was laughing. She's like, "Oh, it's not that bad," and I was like,
Was she forced to watch XXX?
No, she just sat on her phone and was in the she wasn't in the room, and I was like,
No, that's not how the transaction works.
The little bloke sat through it. He loved XXX. He's like, "Yeah, look at the stats." I'm like, "No, little kids are stupid."
Oh god.
I watched all of Hollywood Weapons.
What'd you think, bud?
There's some interesting, some of the stuff they go through, the proving that things can work. But honestly, a lot of stuff fails, and they're like, "Yeah, I think we can give this a great, give it a tick."
They give it a.
This didn't work at all, but I think you could probably do it. We'll give it a pass. It's like, are you testing this or not?
I remember there was one with the arrow where they said the arrow could pin someone, that could hold someone's body weight against the thing, and the arrow just pierced the back of the skull.
It just came through
Did
the
we give
gel.
that a pass?
Yeah.
I was like,
It'd have to go into the
pass.
tree and hold a body up. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And then in the second season, they've got this random little sidekick Mexican guy that doesn't actually do anything except come in and be Mexican. It's very strange.
It was in the first. It was in the first one too. He started in the.
This must have been the end of the first season, wasn't it?
episode. No, he was in a couple of episodes in. He was like the bartender in the.
Oh, okay,
the
yeah.
thing, and he's
when he's I know what you mean. Yeah, when he's wearing the poncho and stuff, doing Anyway,
It was weird.
they do some interesting stuff, but the whole trying to have this little story arc behind it, just do the experiments and leave that out. I watched Logan Lucky.
Logan Lucky?
Yeah.
Yeah, how was that?
It's interesting. Yeah, it's worth a look. It's something different. It's sort of like a layer cake meets. I don't know. It's one of those ones. It's a heist movie, basically. Ocean's 11 sort of style. For some reason, Daniel Craig's in it with a Southern American accent. Like, just let him be British. He doesn't. I don't understand why people do that. Just there's no reason he needs to be from there, other than the fact he's related to them. But finished Defiant ones. I'd watched the episode. I only watched the first three. Really interesting. Yeah, the way that they got to where they are is just incredible. Those guys. I also watched Assassin's Creed movie.
Oh.
Far out. You're like the dummy from Hollywood. You're taking
all the punishment. I did feel like
you're taking a hiding.
They nailed the tone from the games. I don't think they got enough credit for making it feel like what the games felt like. They did a really good job with that, but mostly everything else was dog shit. So I understand why people were upset. I just thought they did a better job than they'll probably give them credit with in terms of putting what the games were on screen. Because I've played pretty much all of the games at this point, so that I'd give that a green, like the tick for that side of things. But other than that, it was a slog to watch.
Turkey. Well, I saw a video on how they decided to get it to look like the game. The best way to do the leap of faith was to actually get a guy to jump off like a high dive. It's like a 100-foot platform onto a friggin' bag. So I think they put a lot of effort into that sort of stuff.
It looked really good.
They put a shitload of effort into that, but didn't bother with
that script.
Well, that script, don't worry about that. No one's interested in that stuff. Let's just make it look cool.
Yeah, and they spend a lot of time.
Please see XXX.
They spend a lot more time in the real world instead of back in the where he's actually. And in the game, the bits you want to skip through are the stuff about the where you're into animus and that sort of stuff. You want to be back assassinating people in ancient times. And the game has the movie has the same problem where they spend too much time in reality. But that was it for me. That's it.
All right, Jared.
Yeah, I had nothing basically. I watched. I kept watching the Mission Impossible series.
Where are we at?
I'm up to the fourth one. Unfortunately, I kept falling asleep while I was watching the third one. I didn't actually mind the movie. I was just buggered, so I turned it on. 10 minutes, I was out. So it took me about 6 nights to get through it. Jesus. So yeah, I didn't get much watched.
3's not great.
Yeah, I actually liked. It's all right. Well,
it's
better than 2.
2's a turd.
At the moment, the new one's probably the best one.
Yeah? I did like Ghost Protocol. Ghost Protocol was really good.
Yeah, well, I'm watching that one at the moment. It's pretty solid. But yeah, I didn't mind 3. I actually thought they could have done with a bit more Philip Seymour Hoffman. I thought
he
was pretty good.
He nailed that.
Yeah, as a bad guy.
Right level of ham.
Yeah, and he was so intimidating.
Yeah,
just the lines that he was dropping, he just sold them. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm glad I went back to it because there was a few that I'd missed and I remembered the first one being not so good and it was actually good. The second one's the real turkey, I guess. But yeah, pretty high quality series that I've really sort of forgotten was as good as it is.
It's changed a lot since the first one was a lot more of an espionage sort of film, and now they're it's sort of same as.
They seem to have gone. They seem to have gone down a similar route of Fast and Furious. Yeah, just take it in a different direction, and it seems to have worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the action sequences in the new one were just phenomenal, and that was. I mean, the story around it is solid. There's some parts of the story that are really engaging and sell the stakes to the piece, and the as I said, the action sequences, like the fight in the bathroom, is phenomenal. There's stuff later on where there's him doing the motorcycle stunts and everything like that. They were really good, exciting action sequences, which. Comparing it to something like what we watched tonight.
Do you think Rob Cohen could have taken some notes somewhere along the line?
He probably could have done with a little bit of, taking a few pointers. But, yeah, that was me.
That was it.
Unless you want to have a chat about Russell Coit, I've still been watching that.
Nobody wants to talk about that.
I do, Jared. After this, you and I'll have a chat.
All right, okay.
I love that shit.
All right, let's take our first break, and we'll come back and discuss XXX.
All the adventures.
You're XXX. It must be great to go on a mission, the danger, death, destruction, mayhem. You never know when some evil freak villain's gonna hop out, not to mention the women. How long have you been a secret agent?
2 days.
And they probably picked you up, pumping iron in San Quentin.
You ever get punched in the face for talking too much? From the director and producer of The Fast and the Furious.
Dirty, dangerous, uncivilized. I love his attitude.
Comes a new breed of secret agent.
I want all of that in here.
Cool.
Let's take it to the next level.
Vin Diesel is XXX.
Shaken and stirred.
XXX from 2002, directed by Rob Cohen, who gave us the aptly titled The Hurricane Heist just recently. Did anyone catch wind of that?
Never heard of it.
No one?
Well, they steal a
Just
hurricane.
straight it up, I saw the preview one to see it. Oh, yeah. You can see how I got screwed. Produced by Neil H. Moritz, who does the Fast and Furious films. Written by Rich Wilkes, who wrote Airheads and the Jerky Boys. So I can see why scripting wasn't the high caliber part of this film.
That's who you want to go to when you're spending $70 million.
Jesus.
That was about $13 of the budget.
$12 too much.
It stars Vin Diesel as Zed Cage, Samuel L. Jackson as Augustus Gibbons, and Asia Argento as Yelena. The budget was $70 million, and it's made 277 worldwide. So this is profit. This one's profiting
No
at
wonder
least
there were two
100 million.
sequels.
Trivia. Now, I don't know how true this is in that movie database, but it says that Eric Bana was the first choice to play Xander Cage.
That's
That would have been
very
so
different
much
movie.
better.
Yes,
But-
and
but
also no.
that was-
Imagine him doing the
The
stuff.
motorcycle stunts and shit.
But
The train.
that was when he first came on the scene, so he wisely chose not to take it. Because that was round Black Hawk Down.
Yeah, well, he's still got a career, so I think
Yeah.
he made the right call.
I think so.
Alright, okay, Jared,
So did
because
Vin
you
Diesel.
were so pissed off, I want to hear your thoughts first.
I was steamed up. Honestly, I turned it on, and no word of a lie, I wanted to turn it off straight away. Like a minute into that sequence with Rammstein, nothing to do with the music or anything. I was just watching it going, this sucks. This just sucks.
Didn't it feel like a good Charlotte video clip?
I don't know what it was.
Eyeliner.
But it was just terrible, and it never really picked up from that point on. I mean, it's terribly written. Like, obviously, it lacked the characterization. It's so ludicrous. You just can't buy any of it. You can't buy into anything. But I could have let that slide if there was, some great fight scenes or some great action scenes. I could have enjoyed it. But the action sequences were fucking one of the worst parts, because they're just like, this guy is so cool. Look at him. He's an extreme athlete. How cool's this? And the whole time I was watching it going, this is fucking shit. I hate it. I just hated it. So, I think I was going to go for a 1, but I don't even know if I can go that high. Half a star. I'm going a half star.
Fair call.
I've never been on the Diesel train. I've never been a fan of the bloke. As I said to Gibbo, I think his two best roles are Groot and the Iron Giant.
And you don't
And in
look
both
at
of them, you don't hear him, and you don't you don't see him, you don't really hear him. His voice is heavily altered, and that's about as much Diesel as I can handle, I think.
Fair enough. Gibbo.
Yeah, more of the same. I went with a 1 star.
High mark, I think.
If you bring any logic to anything that happens in this movie, you're going to be really angry, and that's pretty much where I am, because I'm a very logical person.
Yeah.
When he bunny hops trail bike through a fence at about 15 feet with no ramp or anything, and then launches off nothing and kicks the dude in the head off the top of a sniper tower. Like, I was already really angry, and those two, I'm like I've ridden dirt bikes my whole life. You cannot do anything even close to resembling that.
Yeah, but you're not Sandy Cage.
Welcome to the Santa Zone.
I think Travis Pastrana's going to have an issue with a lot of the stuff in this. Not to like Asia Argento. How she has a career blows my mind. I've never seen her in anything good. Her trying to be sexy in that nightclub scene when she's dancing against the railing and she's just sort of gyrating like she's having some kind of fit.
I was half expecting Xander Cage to start grinding it.
He was clearly digging it.
He was into it. He was going, I'm a good dancer.
But they had two scenes that were similarly uncomfortable to Rocky's scene in the first Rocky. The last kiss they have on the beach, it looks like she's trying to swallow his head. Riley actually looked up at one point and went, "Oh my god, what's she doing?" Like, it's supposed to be a passionate kiss, and the whole movie is basically that to me. I was just
that's extreme kissing.
Yeah, you're like, you can tell because he's wearing a yak jacket on the fucking beach. Like, I could have gone with a half star as well. I went with 1 because some of the stunts actually look okay. Like, some of the CGI is okay, and that gets it to 1. But it was a tough one, and it felt like it was 2.5 hours long.
It was.
What was actually runtime?
It was 2 hours and 4 minutes. Jesus.
That's indulgent. You're talking about self-indulgent. That's it. Matty, what do you got?
I was pretty forgiving for Skyscraper.
I was going to say you got to give this a 4. I was about to slide across the table. That's it, you're out.
3 stars, 1 for each X.
This is so horribly derivative.
How dare you?
The whole first quarter, you're like, this is that scene from Men in Black.
Yeah,
and then it turns into the shittest James Bond that's ever existed.
At least they don't have a mountainside ski lodge action scene. Oh wait,
It had some bits that defied logic, and I don't know how these things get greenlit. I just don't understand how people are like, yeah, this is good enough, let's just make it. It's just like they've made the script the night before.
Action sports are a big deal. And it was prescient because it clearly figured out that viral videos were going to be a big thing with his thing at the start.
Yeah. With that gigantic GoPro
strapped to the bottom. It was a crash cam, Jared.
I believe that was put on the front of the car by Tony Hawk.
It was. They had Matt Hoffman in there.
What was the score, mate? What are you giving this?
Yeah, I gave it a 1. I gave it a 1. I never want to see it again.
But you nailed it. That's in 2002. Somebody walked into an office and said, "Check out this pitch. What if James Bond was an extreme athlete?"
Yeah.
Bang. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Someone's gone for him.
Yeah.
But the fact is, this is where I come off on this one. Something like Kingsman did this, but 10 times better. Basically, Kingsman was very similar to this in that he was a bit of a larrikin smart ass, and they picked him up and put him into the spy program.
And he wore a suit instead of a yak jacket.
And his street smarts got him over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But they actually showed you that.
It was so dumb. This spy for 2 days. What the fuck?
Well, who the fuck? There's a reason why James Bond. There is a reason why James Bond has been successful for fucking 50 years, and it's not this. It's not taking that and turning it into this sort of shit. Right? It's basically just. It's not a movie. It's just. It's just a. It's just a fucking. Something's
tired of living.
It's something exploding, followed by
a bike,
some cool gadget, just drenched in fucking new metal.
They weren't cool.
Yeah, and that's it. That's all it is.
They actually should have changed the soundtrack. I can just imagine that avalanche sequence to. Oh shit, dude! That would have been perfect.
It's basically just it's the absolute worst type of big budget filmmaking. It's just sound and fucking noise and flash, but no substance at all. Half a star.
Half, okay.
So what's the next Diesel picture you're gonna
Avalon AD perhaps? The Last Witch Hunter, anyone?
What about
I was thinking Fast and the Furious, but I thought that's an ensemble piece. Even the first one, it's 2 of them. I wanted to hang the bug out to dry.
You've done it.
I wanted to see what he was capable of.
Well, he's averaging 3/4 of a star.
Pitch Black is also a bit of an ensemble piece.
Yeah.
And he is actually good in that.
Yeah, no, that's why I suggested
as
it
a
could have been
villain.
an actual decent movie.
Is it because he's quiet?
He's quieter.
He's brooding.
But you can buy the gravelly voice works for a villain role. It doesn't talk much.
Him talking doesn't work.
This is just shit. Like, it's just basically he's trying to say, look at how cool everything is. But it's not. It's the absolute direct opposite to cool.
It is.
The other thing is they've actually made this movie 4 times now because the Point Break remake is basically this movie.
Yeah.
Is it?
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. He's an extreme athlete, and they put him in like the same scenario. He goes big wave surfing. He goes.
Is he an FBI agent though?
Never
At
was.
least?
Kind of, yeah. He's ex-football, like all that sort of stuff, but he's into like that sort of scene. It's
Point
seriously
Break's,
this. It's
Point
exactly
Break's even worse because it takes out a little bit of the Bond stuff and seems to take itself even more seriously.
It does.
This one.
No, it was
At least
terrible.
this one kind of had a little bit of the laughter, that had that guy that was kitting his thing up with all the accessories and all that sort of shit.
Oh, that
It was
guy
kind
was
of
painful
That
too.
guy,
Cheek.
Q with his fuckwit meter dialed up
Yeah.
to 10. He's
Yeah.
just acting
Look at
like
all these
a
different
twat.
coloured darts. Like as if you'd remember any of that shit.
Hey, geek.
Shoot someone with a dart.
So dumb.
Okay, Eddie likes. Come on, we can't have much here.
Okay, I have one.
Well, okay, good.
Okay.
I had 3.
I said some of the stunts are decent. That's all I can find.
You had 3.
Same. Well, one of them was Danny Trejo.
That's fine.
Just the fact that he showed up.
Yeah, and he's holding a machete. That's all you can ask for.
But yeah, the bike run through the joint in Colombia is, although I thought the same thing. I kind of rewound it and said, did he actually fucking jump off anything when he fucking tabletoped his way through the
He preloads.
wire?
So when you ride a bike, you preload before you hit a jump if you want to get higher, right? So he preloads his springs and then just jumps off the ground. It's a bunny
On a
hop.
flat track.
A bunny hop of a fucking 100 kilo bike, 90 kilo bike,
Yeah.
15 feet into the air.
But the parts when he was on the bike, at least he wasn't talking and things were blowing up. I was like, okay, well, this is kind of what we came to see.
Back to your
Over
base
the
roots
bar.
again.
That actually reminded me of Rambo 3 when he's on the horse in the Afghan village and they're playing the sheep game. And then the helicopters come. It was very reminiscent of that.
But it also had
Not
it also gave me a couple of chuckles because they had a couple of classic parts where they're just kind of like, how do we shoot this without kind of noticing that it's not Vin Diesel on the bike?
Oh,
And they
yeah.
just said, fuck it, just shoot it. The guy, and you can clearly see there's shots from front on where it's some dude with a bald cap.
There's one bit where
Zach commented here.
when he lands going over the barn and he lands on the thing and they show him coming down, it looks like they've actually tried to do a stitching like of his face over someone else's as well because his face is on the wrong bit of his head.
But also,
It's off to the side.
I mean, that particular thing where the barn explodes as he's going over it. I mean, he's just getting fucking cooked in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't even bother to cut away. They just decide, fuck it. This looks awesome. There's a
but
massive
that's what I mean.
explosion
That's
with
the
a
only reason you
bike
have it like
driving
somebody
out of
to
it.
do
I'll be dazzled by the fire to
To forget, is that Vin Diesel? No, it's not.
Same with the avalanche scene though, like that. That's a pretty deep. There's some pretty decent stunts. in there.
Yeah.
The CGI didn't look terrible.
He would have been
Oh, I don't
involved
know.
in
The
that so
CGI,
much.
whatever. He gets close.
I love the guys on the ski mobiles can't, like the ski-doos, they can't get away, but he's just snowboarding away from it.
Yeah.
He's carving and everything, and they're just like, oh, and just get rolled over.
It was
He
kind
would have
of
died
funny
20 times in that scene. Though.
Exactly.
All made the shoes he's made off the back.
I don't know how turbulence works, but does it work if you're on a snowboard? Do you get turbulence if you're on a
Well,
snowboard?
you'd get bumped around by the fucking the shit
size of
coming
that
down
avalanche.
after you. I mean, it's coming down at speed, and all the air and stuff is. You get knocked over in
Oh,
seconds.
the fact that he jumps on the tower and it somehow stays up, that tower's gone.
absolute weight.
It's hitting him on the back, and it's like he's on a kind of medium-sized wave in the surf. Like,
Yeah.
it just kind of pats him on the back, and then it just goes straight past him. Yeah, no.
Anything else? My only thing I have was Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, I had seen
The guy could he could just rock up,
He
phone
amps
that
up.
shit in, which he
amps
does.
it up so much.
But he rolls out the 2 best lines in the film for me, which is, why do the arseholes always pass the test? And I'm thinking, Xander Cage, 2 a T. In one line, he sums up Xander Cage. And then he also says, when he talks about his face, and he sort of gives you a bit of shit, and he says, a small price to pay for putting foot to ass for my country.
yeah.
I laughed so hard when he introduced himself. Gibbons, Augustus Gibbons. I'm like, he's taking the James Bond line. He's the mentor. He's not meant to be the smoothest guy in the movie.
Well, that's the problem. Xander Cage is supposed to be the coolest motherfucker on the planet, and every time Samuel L. Jackson's on screen with him, it's like, that's
Steals it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson says that was a test. You passed the test about 5 times in
Yeah.
this movie. Like every single time to move the script forward.
But yeah,
that
what-
was a test.
Jackson, I just wanted him to be Triple X.
Yeah,
Like, that's
so
all I
right.
could think about was,
Everyone did. That's why they
couldn't
asked you for the
Samuel
second
Jackson be the Triple X character?
But Sammy cashed the check and said, I'll be here for 3 days. So, what do you got?
I'm putting this makeup on once. So get what you need and I'm out. I'm not sitting in the chair for 2 hours every day, dickhead.
Any other likes? Anyone?
I had a couple of laughs in there. When the bad guy's like, "Don't shit in my lawn." That was pretty good.
Is the main actor?
Martin
Is he actually
Cossack.
Russian?
No, I don't believe
No,
so.
he's a New Zealander.
Is he? Yeah, because I've seen him in something else.
But he's always
He's in
doing
The Equalizer.
He's always doing a European accent of some form.
Yeah, he pulls off the greasy
Very-
Euro.
Yeah, well, he was
drug
the
dealer.
Russian dude in The Equalizer.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Mate,
Yeah,
he surely fired his agent.
Talk about shit on your lawn. That's how I felt when I was watching the movie. Vin Diesel shat on my fucking
Shit in my face. He shit in my face, then walked off and left it.
Welcome to the Xander Zone, Adam.
That made me laugh. The whole internet phenomenon that Russian bodyguards know who I am, but now I'm going to try
The
and
police can't
buy
find
some
me.
cars off you.
Why was that touchable?
The police don't know how to find me, but some Russian dickhead.
I don't know. He lived in a warehouse. So
He said at one point, "I'm untouchable." Next minute, they're blowing the windows in, and he's gone. Like,
Yeah.
That warehouse was the same warehouse where Zoolander has his orgy. I'm pretty sure.
I think it was the same one
With
with
the skate ramp, and I'm
It's
sure there was a
first
finished
Ninja
walk in
Turtles
the
movie too,
background.
where the Foot Clan are. All the kids are for the Foot Clan in the first Ninja Turtles movie.
Funnily enough, the Ninja Turtles movie was the last time I said, they've got a skate ramp inside. How cool is that?
Yes.
I didn't say it this time.
That's until you're an adult now. You know, it's not actually that interesting.
It's like that thing comes up every 27 years.
Yeah.
The skate ramp in a warehouse is like it. Every 27 years it appears in a
pops up.
movie.
And ruins someone's life. Yeah.
I also liked they were like, there's some fishy business going on downstairs. There's scientists going in and out. and then when you go downstairs, it's a whole bunch of guys in white coats, and they're carrying around some rats for some weird reason. In a cage. It's like, where do I put the rats while we're testing these chemicals?
Well, I was to do a little test to demonstrate. And
Why are they carrying them around the room? It's so weird.
I was waiting for Jack Palance to step out and start sniffing the rats. Oh, now we know what's going on. He's Tourette's behind the wheel. That's why it's so fucking stupid.
The Cossack is being puppeted by Perret.
Yeah, when they say something fishy's going on here, I thought they were referring to the techno party upstairs where everyone's dressed like a fucking vegan boys. That was a little bit off for me.
The only thing was, if Perret was involved, I was expecting to hear, "Hello, Governor." Brian James is a Cockney assassin.
What else you got, Matty?
I got two more that I liked.
Jesus Christ, mate.
Yeah, I liked
Way too much.
I liked when they were in the restaurant and they chose the classiest restaurant to have their date on. Everybody's in suits and ties and stuff, and they're in singlets.
Jacket. Yeah.
They're in singlets.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
they're-
they're just chilling in singlets.
He's like, you're in a tank top in a restaurant, mate. You're not a special agent. He's like, oh, but what about my guns? I'm going
Like,
to show
they
off my
wouldn't
guns.
have
and
even
my
got
top
through the
secrets.
door.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. It was
Money
pretty funny.
talks, Matty.
Yeah, that's right. I did like that, and also how good was the and bad at the same time was the X-ray goggles.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, sorry. I can't give you that one.
What was the point of
The
that
penetrator.
shit? The penetrator.
His eyes were like popping out of his head like it was a cartoon. Oh, I can see her in her underwear.
And then he said, he gives us a quick sort of, I better keep these. You scumbag.
It's just, yeah.
There was another moment where Riley looked him up and goes, is this for fucking real? When he's taking the photos through the brick wall of the submarine, and she's like, is this fucking for real or what? Like, are they serious?
I don't give Diesel a lot of credit as an actor, but I felt sorry for the fact that he's just been told, just look at the wall and pretend you can see through it.
Really take notes. Really be engrossed in that brick. So most of your likes were actually dislikes.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's fair.
Okay, dislikes?
Here we go.
I'm going to come right out and say it. How can you root for Xander Cage?
He's a
He's
cockhead.
just an
He's a
obnoxious turd.
Yeah.
And Diesel gives him absolutely zero life. He has no character arc at all. in the movie.
It's not like lovable rogue. It's just
And-
absolute fuckwit.
And
then decides, I better do something good.
Yeah, I'll carry this guy out that got shot.
Well, that was what they were trying
Well,
to
we
come
lost
across.
you by then, you know.
About the 80-minute mark, he started rambling on about how I've always done bad things in my life, but this is the one that
Feels like it's
worth it. I'm thinking, well, get the fuck out of here. Just,
I was thinking,
just
you've still only
dispense with
been
that
an agent
bullshit.
for-
That wasn't necessary.
You've still only been an agent for 2 days, and 3 days ago you were jumping a fucking car off a bridge, and
Everything was too easy in this. Like, well, what you made 3 mistakes when he's like they're trying to assess him.
That's the worst scene in the entire movie.
Terrible.
That ridiculous test
She's
they
wearing
put
a
in
high
for the
heel.
liner.
That whole thing, and then he's the funny guy in the plane. Like everything is just
It's
too
just
easy.
so fucking stupid. He's from the Casey Ryback School of Action Heroes. I am so good. I do everything right, and I don't get hit.
He never gets shot.
Nobody
He gets
hurts
punched
me.
twice when he's hanging up. That's it. No one gets one on him.
I actually, now that I look at it, my dislike list is essentially fucking scene for scene of the movie.
It's ridiculous. The first scene that he's in, like that intro stunt, he's going on about how this politician's a dickhead for saying that kids are being, and he's saying, I'm educated by these games, and here I go stealing someone's car and throwing it off a fucking bridge. Way to prove his point, mate.
Yeah.
But what's with the, like,
There's
talking
no
about
way
bad
that you
writing?
him.
The video games, it's the only education we got. I'm like,
That's terrible grammar.
so I'm starting to lose me, and then he goes, welcome to the Xander Zone. I'm like, you can't win me back. Movie over. It's gone.
That politician had a massive overreaction too. He's like straight up to I'm a senator. My car's been stolen.
I'm slamming down the phone. It's like, mate, the phone will work if you just talk. You don't have to yell loud enough for the person
I hated
to
that
hear.
whole thing. Yeah, that was horrible.
I reckon it's piss poorly directed.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are talking about the action scenes, but I got absolutely zero out of any of them.
Oh no, I didn't mean that the effects I was expecting to be way more patchy.
The
And,
pulse is not even raised once.
No.
And
Well, it's like, mate, the way that I look at it in this movie is like if you're fucking stuck in a sewage pipe, and they're the moments when you don't see a fucking turd floating past you. I was like,
It's not
it's just
shit.
clear water. That's what I felt like in the action sequences. I'm like, this is okay. This is
like grey water. I'm not having to push nards aside.
Hang
to
on,
get
there's a
through.
big Bondi cigar. Here we go again. It was just, it was something that I could actually watch and play. Not be just
Bondi cigar.
But to me, really fast cuts, couldn't see what was happening in sequences. Because all this washed out footage. Fucking new metal. I wanted to fucking kill myself. If we got bloody absolutely inundated with this bullshit where you just hear people go into microphones.
Again,
I was like, what's going on?
if you're dressed in a suit and you're just escaping from some criminals, well, why would you go into the rock concert?
How the fuck my problem with that scene was, how the fuck did you just walk into a fucking Rammstein concert? No, you had this little key, and then you're in a concert, like a fairly
He
well
opened up the
attended
door to a
concert.
dungeon and then ended up in the big.
But he also ended up in the club owned by the henchmen who tried to steal something from, so they could shoot him in the fucking chest.
Yeah, don't you think you go the other way?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm like, how you walked into the place where Anarchy 99 is.
Owns,
So obviously your intelligence was a little bit off,
Yeah.
because all you needed to do was get out of that alley, and you ended up the one place that you shouldn't have gone.
Yeah, it was very, very troublesome.
And to the whole time it was bang, bang, like Rammstein. Not that I just didn't think that suited all that well.
The fact that every single scene he's in with anybody, he just dismisses them and tries to put shit on them flat out, and none of his things stick. But meanwhile, everyone else is doing like that thing in the sort of the background, like, oh, that's a sick burn, man. Like,
Even Tony Hawk does it.
yeah, it's like, what guys
Tony
listen
Hawk
to?
should be ashamed of himself. He should not be in a movie like this.
That's how troublesome a task it was to make Xander Cage look cool. They were like, fuck, what do we do? Oh, we better get Tony Hawk and all these other guys who actually have some cred to look at Xander Cage and go, wow, man, you're psycho. I would never do that, to make him look cool.
Yeah.
And it just looks fucking stupid. Poor old Tony Hawk just looks,
He looks bewildered.
This is a chapter in his book that he probably should fucking rip out.
His go-to put down is calling people monkeys.
Yeah.
He rolls out the monkey line like 3 times. I'm just like, What?
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Like, he keeps crapping on
Again,
about.
Adam, stick
Tell
to
this
it, mate.
monkey. Tell this monkey to do this, and tell this monkey to do that. Like, you lost me. You lost me, Xander. I mean, admittedly, I would also have been lost when he said, "Welcome to the Xander Zone."
I was done. I was done at that point. As much as again going to my scene by scene breakdown, I did love. As much as I loved Sammy Jackson, his plan is fucking ludicrous. Let's scrape the bottom of the barrel. I'm just like, what? Like, why is nobody saying get this bloke out of the room? He's
But
lost his mind.
also, he goes, who are these guys? Are these ex-agents? No, they're civilians, mercenaries, all these sorts of things. And then Diesel's name comes up, and I'm thinking, so hang on, so you've got fucking mercenaries. You've got mercenaries who can do this shit. This is what they've been trained to do. And you picked the fucking extreme athlete dickhead to give him a gig.
He's the one that passes the test in the cafe, mate. He's the arsehole.
He wakes up from a sedative and is not scared at all about the situation. He sits at the bar and has a drink.
And they say, you want some coffee? He's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
And apparently it's impossible for someone to read a paper that's not the current day one, because that's just like he's reading the Financial Times on a Sunday. He's like, maybe it was from Friday, and he's just trying to catch up on data.
Revision. Yeah,
Market revision, you know?
Smart. He's just working hard, mate, on his day off.
I was like, why are they focusing in on her ankles?
I know.
Has he got a fat fetish? Is that what it is? I hope this is something.
She
that
had some
pops up
ankles
again.
on her though. She had like the drop tank ankle where it folds over where the bone's supposed to be and just looks like a cuff. It's not what you want in high heels, that's for sure. He wasn't wrong about that.
She squeezed into those shoes.
Yeah. She had cloud leg. Speaking of, so we spoke about where he bunny hops the bike twice. Let's talk about how he gets up to the rock ceiling when he's in the fucking James Bond den at the end and the guys are coming in and he does a vertical leap to a ceiling that's probably the best part of 10-15 feet straight up and then stars himself out and holds his body weight horizontally. How the fuck did he get up there?
Why the fuck did he get up there?
You know what you can do? Hide behind that tank that you're standing
There did
next to.
seem to be those things. I'm pretty sure those blokes aren't walking in there and like
Searching for it.
searching around the tanks. Like,
But unless he could jump from the ground directly into that position.
That's what he did. There's no other explanation. That's what Spider-Man does. Not Xander Cage. Sorry. One, he's white, and two, no. Sorry, just not a thing. It's nonsense.
I forgot about that.
As soon as he's looking around, he's like, oh, I've got to hide. I'm like, oh, he's going to go behind the tank. No, vertical, straight up star. And it shows how much it's hard work, because he's got 2 beads of sweat on his forehead. Like, yeah, I'd say so. His fucking heart would have exploded trying to jump up there in the first place.
And the only reason he gets found out is because the rubber is cracking off the ceiling from the cave.
Well, he had to push out so hard on the solid granite that he crumbled it with his legs. It's nothing.
Oh man! I forgot all about that sequence. Oh man!
While we're talking nonsense then, while you guys get yourselves together, the scene at the end where he sticks all the bandages on the motorbikes and cars and everything, he's specifically going in there to save this Yelena chick, right? Because apparently she's...
But he also
vulnerable.
says the sweep team, so you're just going to go in there and kill everyone. We don't want to do that. We got to do... You blow up every fucking...
But he's on the run. He knows she's in there at this point, and he blows up all the things sight unseen. She could have been in the car that he exploded. He had no idea. He's just randomly blowing shit up. And if he blows it up, it's like, oh, well, that was all pointless.
Collateral damage.
I know that.
But then he knew because it was all a test.
I know the sweep team did end up being a test, but wouldn't your first thing be not, I'm going in, wouldn't it be, can you just do the sweep team because there's no one there saving, bar the girl?
Yeah,
She's alright, just sweep everything but the girl. Can we just not shoot her?
She'll be the one gyrating against the wall trying to be sexy and failing miserably.
Yeah, I'll be the one stuck to the roof.
She also didn't have hair as luscious as her boyfriend. His
Yeah.
locks were phenomenal.
That was a greasy mane. It was very Chance Boudreau, that one. Because I wanted to see him do some slow motion running.
It was close to Madrid, but not quite there. Now, look, this movie has absolutely no right to be 2 hours and 4
Oh my
minutes.
god.
Like, I couldn't have even copped this at a breezy 90.
No.
Should have been 80.
Should have been an 80-minute film.
I thought it just felt long.
An hour. It should have been a half-hour YouTube video for
It
God's
should have been double X, definitely. But seriously, like, I got to the 50-minute mark and I just like, I didn't know at that point. I just, check the time. I thought 50 minutes, Jesus Christ! And then I saw an hour 10 to go. I was
At the 50-minute mark, I wrote down third techno party. I want to die.
But how we got? But that was the other thing. Most people that I know listen to Rammstein would rather fucking jump off a cliff than go to a techno party.
Yeah.
Anarchy 99's got all bases covered. They go to Rammstein, then they throw their own techno parties. Just, I don't know, very, very eclectic tastes.
Vin Diesel's movies, though, seem to really categorise people in certain things. Like, you look at all the Fast and Furious movies, every single one of the parties in that has chicks in booty shorts and bikinis rubbing themselves against cars.
Well, there's a bit of that in this.
Does he think there's actually a culture that does that?
Well, maybe in Vin Diesel's world there is. In this, there was a bit of that too.
Yeah.
They do a quick scan across one of the parties and there's a couple of girls up on some...
Well, the scene when they go back to the castle after at the nightclub, and I was watching this with my 8-year-old son, and I'm like, oh, this is getting a bit problematic when they pick up the chick in the G-string and slap her ass and then throw her over the railing, and Riley's like, there's somebody watching this, and I'm like, forward. Skip this.
How did Dill go with that scene? The things I do for my country.
No, I skipped that too, because you can sort of see it coming, so I punted past most of that.
Just quietly, you talked about his yak jacket.
It's glorious.
It does look like he's fucking fleeced a polar bear or something, but he rocks up to the party and he hands it over to the girl. Take this for me. I'm thinking, where's she taking it? She just fucking bit that.
She thought it was garbage, but she didn't give him a ticket. She's like, I'll put it in the skip toy out the back, mate. No worries.
Did you kill this in the jungle?
This is a dead kangaroo you found outside.
How come he hasn't got anything in between? He goes from wearing an actual dead lion to a seagull. There's nothing in between.
No. He's in a cage. He's living life on the edge.
He cares not for the climate, mate.
There was an extra in there that looked like the Bomb Funk MC, about 50 years old. Did you see him?
To be honest, Matty, I can't remember what the Bomb Funk MC
The problem for me was the guy that when it cuts to the party, and I think it was the second party, they cut up to the DJ booth. There's the DJ cranking it out, and he's got like laser pointer fucking things on his glasses or something. I'm like, oh man.
It's a cultural thing. You wouldn't get it.
The bad guy in it, I thought the bad guy was Darren Hayes from Savage Garden. And you know that there's something wrong with a movie when it's meant to be an action movie, and this is what I'm thinking about.
Yeah,
there's something wrong with it.
He was thinking about taking Xanax to the moon and back.
I was thinking it really explains a lot of the lyrics to Truly Madly Deeply. Isn't that why we stand with you on a mountain? We stand with you on a mountain.
Under an avalanche.
Stand with you in the sea. On a lay like this forever.
While we're tabletopping on a bike.
Isn't that part of the lyrics? Down on me. Is that the right song?
Yeah, that's it.
Fuck, where's that coming from? It's just coming through me like it's that really organic.
It sounds like you just listened to it. Just in the car on the way over.
It was an early slow.
It came on an Apple Music, didn't it?
Apple Music. Oh, look, Savage Garden Essentials. Better get on that.
Jesus.
The cop,
that was all bullshit. The whole police officer, Czech police officer.
Yeah.
Even this special police, he cannot possibly be as inept as he is now when he leans on the window and pushes He pushes the whole pane in. Was it just sitting there on a toothpick or something?
Yeah, I'm sure they've got some sort of technology where he could have bugged something and listened to the conversation, but as you said, he's fucking...
No, but they cut to his crew doing the listening, and he's just secreted in the wall with this gigantic big thing that he's holding out, the listening device.
But what's his plan?
It's like, come on.
Oh, the transaction's happened. I'm going in alone to take these guys out. While you listen in you other blokes all crowd around the listening device and see what they're saying.
That's what I kept noticing too, was the whole Xander Cage thing, was that the police are inept.
Oh yeah,
the police and the spy agencies are inept.
Well,
what we need is a fucking douchebag YouTube video maker who's an extreme athlete.
Well,
who knows everything and can't.
I'm pretty sure that the entire resources of the police department that are after Xander Cage in that car aren't in a line behind him. There's fucking 5 cars in a perfect line behind him. I'm thinking someone's figuring out a way to cut him off or come from another direction, or
I've got a rebuttal.
Round spikes.
Did you not see the OJ chase?
True. Yeah, but he was threatening to blow his own head off.
Very similar. Let's just follow him. Hopefully he runs out of fuel some point. Let's not stop anything.
To me, the worst part of the movie, and this is fucking, most of it's absolutely awful, but the whole bit after he gets over to Europe and he's doing a bit of cat and mouse with Asia Argento and you're getting all that sort of stuff and Rammstein parties happening. Dead set, there's an action scene when he, in Colombia. There's not another action scene for an hour.
Yeah.
And it is just all bullshit. It's not even exposition. It's just crap.
It's exposition. It's a lot of exposition.
It's very info dumpy exposition.
And it's just what the fuck's going on? You cut a half hour of this out. You cut that out.
Yeah.
The relationships in it are pretty funny, hey? Everything just turns with, the trust is earned and lost in about
2 seconds.
Yeah.
You hate a cop. We hate cops.
Yeah.
Now we are kindred spirits. We are anarchists.
Yeah.
It's let me tell you everything about my organisation. We are Anarchy and we are from 1999.
The way that they base it, the way that they base that trust on. Well, thank you for telling us there was a policeman in our car. It's that's it.
Meanwhile, the policeman's just getting a drink. He's allowed. Had a tough day at work.
Underrated, stupid too. Anarchy 99. Is that not the worst?
Yeah, so bad. We like Anarchy, and we decided this in 1995. But you couldn't make. Who made that up?
Yeah, there's going to be a breakaway. There's going to be a breakaway mob that's we don't like
Anarchy 2000.
We're Anarchy 02. We're things a little bit.
These guys weren't extreme enough.
Yeah, we're like Gavin Rossdale songs.
We haven't actually kicked the quips enough either.
Oh, that's the worst part.
The worst attempt at quips in any action scene, any action movie I've ever seen.
Got any good examples, Jared?
There was Where's My Peanuts?
Oh, on the plane.
I told him smoking would kill him. Suzuka. That was horrible.
You get a heat-seeking missile. You fire a heat-seeking missile in a room full of electrical equipment. So the heat off those electrical equipment would have been heavier than a
all
cigarette.
The pipes were full of steam and shit. They're all. Oh yeah. Jeez, that little tiny heat signature from his cigarette while my mate's blowing a smoke ring.
How much experience do you reckon Xander Cage has with bazookas to be able to know?
Well, clearly nothing. He didn't know what button to press to fucking get it to work, and then he just points and shoots and no worries.
And see again,
they actually needed a bit more of that. Of him not knowing what he's doing because he's been an agent for 2 days. They
needed more of. He was kind of a buffoon in some of that, to give it a kind of almost a comedic edge.
He had that raw kind of I'll just do anything, but he didn't know how to use it.
Didn't actually know how to use it.
Run with a bit more of that.
That could have actually worked.
The one where they bust into his rad little skateboard party at his thing. Oh, okay, I'll turn down the music.
Yeah. Just a grown-up.
Come on. Just stop it.
And everyone else is running and he just stands there because he's so fucking cool.
I've been sitting there going, mate, 2 minutes ago you told us you're untouchable.
Yeah.
Look at you now, you fucking idiot. Stop making quips and work on being untouchable.
I'd have been squealing like a pig about who set the party up. Down on my knees, take me quietly. Don't hurt me.
Don't you know who I am? I'm a YouTube star.
I was just skateboarding. I didn't do anything else.
I was just a skate ramp. My name's not Xander Cage.
I was waiting to do the Anthony Anderson from the donut scene in Transformers 1. When he's like, we're going to stick together, And he was like, everything. Just throw all his mates under the bus.
Yeah. The quips are just terrible. They never hit. He doesn't get anything remotely amusing.
The tone's wrong and none of them are good at all. They don't give him credibility. They don't make it. They're not funny.
No,
they
not
don't
at
make
all.
Him cool.
Not at all.
I hated the M equivalent. The guy who did the gadgets. Q. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
Yeah,
he was an absolute dickhead.
I hated him.
And this is his involvement summed the movie up for me.
Yeah,
you got the James Bond template. You got Q, who in the James Bond films always the sort of the classy guy who kind of ribs Bond.
Yeah,
occasionally about his lack of knowledge.
Yeah, and also
his role is to say you need to peg it back a bit. Step over the line. In this case,
so these dickheads decide let's make him an absolute fuckwit. Let's dial it up to 100.
Yeah,
and then also he's into anarchy as well. Blow everything up.
Yeah,
it's just so stupid. It just shows how dumb this would have been.
The other thing that was problematic was when Samuel L. Jackson says, "Oh, you've been made. No longer any use to us. Go home." It says here's your ticket. You're out. The next thing he does is go back to the base and recruit all of the Special Forces guys to help him do this thing, which is the opposite of what he's been ordered. None of them call Samuel L. Jackson and go, "We're supposed to be taking orders from this bloke," or what? They just all go, "No worries, right?"
Yeah. Hasn't this guy been an agent for like 3 days?
Yeah.
But I've seen his YouTube videos. They're great.
Let's throw the snake in the snake pit.
Yeah, don't throw another rat in the snake pit. Throw a snake in there.
They'd set a dick in the snake
But
pit.
this is the thing. Nothing he had done in the opening 15 minutes says to me, this is a guy we need in our organisation. This is our snake.
No,
He
he's
stole
just
a car and jumped it off a building.
Yeah.
Jumped it off a bridge.
The cankles, come on.
But there was nothing
He made
about
ankle.
any of this that said to me that it would have been better if he'd been in prison.
Well, essentially the
Or
idea
something
was,
of that
at least you know
nature.
he's done
essentially the idea was Suicide Squad, but without something, without putting a bomb in their head. Like,
Yeah.
Well, without any tangible skills either. He didn't have any tangible skills.
You
so I
obviously
don't
didn't see him on the snowboard, maybe on the car bike.
I saw him skate down a stairway on a fucking food tray.
Yeah.
we didn't see the pre-planning. We didn't see. Look, their base is in some sort of it's on a snow-covered hilltop. But we got a guy who can snowboard. What do you reckon? Did he pass the dyno test? Yeah, he was great. Like,
He's the only one that survived, so I guess it's it.
I'll tell you what the funniest scene for me was. There's a scene where he's explaining to everyone how the castle's surrounded by surveillance cameras. And he's explaining it to the police and the special forces and that.
Who would have no idea.
And they're looking at it, and then he goes, "So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the communications tower," and he's holding like a Red Bull or something.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there watching him thinking, he doesn't even believe what he's saying to these people. Like,
No.
it just looks so
Otherwise,
out of
you go,
place.
you
He
don't
looks
think
like
we
he doesn't
thought of
know
that?
what to say.
But the communications tower's out, completely exposed. Obviously, they could just take that out. Like, none of them thought about it before.
Well, they're just
well, that was
flying
the
a bloody
point.
missile strike or something.
they all
Take
kind
it
of
out.
go when he says the communications tower.
This guy's brilliant.
I'm pretty sure they would have known that was there.
They could have used the bazooka.
What was the deal with? I don't know. Maybe I missed something, but when he goes, "I need someone who can fly a plane," and the lady steps in and goes, "I can."
Okay.
He's the one, that's the lady that he saw in the nude with the penetrator.
I know, but what's the
Why? That's right. I can't take this.
Why do you need the hot chick to do it?
exactly? Like, what a chance that
Yeah, because there was nothing that came of it. It's not like he sort of flirted with her or anything without flying over.
No, it's supposed to be really amazing that a blonde woman can fly a plane. I think that's what they're going
it
for.
looks like $1 million as I watch this through the penetrator.
She looks
Because
like
he can
Bridget
fly a
Nielsen.
plane.
Poor man's Bridget Nielsen.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I thought he was
take-
going to be, when that happened, I thought, is he going to be sitting on the plane ogling while she's flying it or something? Like,
They
is it-
played "Take My Breath Away" while
Well,
he was flying.
isn't that the joke? Isn't that the joke? Like the joke the next scene is her flying the plane and him basically standing there with the penetrator.
If he had the glasses there,
That's your Porky's level joke. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, missed an opportunity.
all he would have had to do was, drop his guts on the way out of the plane and he's gone on, and we would have had the perfect comedic scene happening there.
would have bumped me up a half star easy.
Yeah, I think it was what Gibbo mentioned, that it's just like, the chick that looks pretty good that he saw half naked. What, she can fly a plane?
No, women have skills sometimes. Wow.
Well, I'm going to argue, Zed, that she's got more skills than you fucking produced the entire movie.
Well, I actually had to look for half a second and go, is she wearing a pilot's uniform? And I was going to say, I thought, maybe he would have gone, who can fly a plane? Can you? You look like you're in a pilot's outfit.
Well, she was wearing a pilot's uniform, but Zed missed that.
Yeah, well,
He
that's
didn't be
right.
staring her
You didn't
up.
see that. He used the penetrator and looked straight through the
Apparently the flight wings on her chest and the epaulettes on her shoulders didn't give it away.
The last thing for me is, so basically you stop a biological weapon that's going to blow up fucking the entire bloody country by just jumping on it, ripping out the hard drive by hand. That's
Turn
how
the
it works.
missile around.
Turn the missile upside down.
Yeah.
How long does he watch those things get ready to launch for with nothing but a blank stare going on? He's sitting there as they're going,
He's just like,
and he's literally just looking at them for about a minute and a
This
half.
can't be good. It's mixing. It's mixing. It actually reminded me of The Rock with the green
the-
chemical in the
yeah.
with the VX gas.
And they try to. I love the way they try to give us a bit of emotion by showing all those kids running through the streets and stuff like that. This biological weapon's about to hit, and the young kids are running through the streets.
There's a couple kissing. And
Yeah, it's like Get out of here! Well, you don't get to pull that
Wrong
out
movie,
now.
jerks.
I had the Samuel L. Jackson kind of, how he says, "Oh, one country's better than 10." I was thinking, okay, so we're going to lose a couple of the young kids and the loving couples, but Xander Cage will be gone too. So fair trade. I can live with that.
You know what? I had bombing that shit out of the water. Like they had a full set of jets coming his way, loaded up. I'm just letting loose on that anyway, whether he fixed it or not.
I was watching.
Xander Cage has stopped it. Sorry, just switch the comms off.
Yeah.
Blowing up.
Continue, for it.
I was watching that scene going, I don't know how gas works, but I don't think there's enough gas in that thing to kill all of Prague or all of London. It's
Well, I
like,
think the idea is a bit like The Rock,
But
which
they
is
test-
1 teaspoon in the air.
It detonates in the atmosphere, Matt.
Guys in
Very
white coats
scientific.
had tested that on rats, so you haven't done those same tests, which is probably why you don't understand how it's all going to work.
how bad was the scene when they killed Darren Hayes, by the way? Learn how to shoot. Oh, I'm going to shoot you now.
It's not about too easy. I thought if they just hadn't have shot him, he was heading straight for the rocks anyway.
His bloody hair got in the way.
With that scene, they actually showed Xander Cage's complete ineptness with a weapon. Like when he's shooting, he's like 30 or 40 metres to the right or short of the boat. And then he just accidentally sprays and the recoil makes him hit or make the
But
boat
also,
back.
If they killed him there, that would have been good.
again,
Yeah,
kill him.
cut him in half with the door.
Cut him in half and then make him an actual hero.
but again, that sequence where he goes to fire on some blokes and then nothing happens and he ducks and Asia Argento kills all
Tells him about the safety.
Yeah, that's what more you needed.
Yeah.
Again, he's got all these extreme athletic skills, but he's got no game.
So you're saying we want like an extreme
It's
sports
like a
athlete
spoof.
version
Basically,
of
that's what it kind of needed to be.
Yeah, like
Quite
get
hard with
smart.
snowboards.
Get smart.
Well, the classic example is True Lies. That's basically what they kind of did with True Lies. They took it, it was action-packed, but it was also slightly comedic,
Goofy.
and it worked. It
What
was
about
the
Johnny
James...
English?
Well, not as successful, but they needed to go a little bit more down that route. So,
There's another sequel to that coming out soon.
I know, I saw a trailer for it the other day.
Oh,
Him washing his fur coat under the heat.
I didn't watch the
air
trailer. I
heat.
just saw. I came out of the Meg and saw the
I think
cutout for it.
Triple X
And I was
doing
just,
that.
what year are we in? Don't just come out of the time
Yeah,
machine.
Johnny English, I saw a trailer for it during the equalizer, I think.
Blue.
Anything else?
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I've had enough. I'm going home.
Has anybody seen Triple X 2?
No.
I've seen the one with Ice Cube.
Any better?
No,
Is Ice Cube a more enjoyable hero?
no, he's actually way more gruff.
Yeah.
Think his character in 21 Jump Street, but trying to be
Angry.
gangster
His
as
character
well.
in anything, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
He can't do anything but look at, people sideways and,
Has anyone seen the one where with him
gruffly
and
loudly.
with Ice Cube when he's the teacher? And they
Yeah,
have the
right.
Fist fight.
fist
Like,
fight.
that's good.
What?
I like
What's
that.
I watched like 15 minutes and said, "This is fucking
I
horrible."
want
and
to
turned it
fight
off.
you.
I don't mind Ice Cube.
I like
It's
Charlie
like
Day.
teachers, you just
I like Charlie Day.
Oh, Charlie Day's
Charlie
too much
Day,
sometimes.
I
annoying.
love him.
I just wanted to throw this out there. Diesel as an action hero, who are they feeding him to? Like, what's he got? What brings us through the door?
The 12 to 12 and a half year olds really like him.
No, but I think he never really hit as an action star. He's just Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, he's
That's
just
it.
traded everything
I mean,
off
I'll
one
give him his
franchise.
credit from the fact that he's obviously been shrewd enough to,
Well, he knows where his bread's buttered.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's gone back to that. He's gone back to Pitch Black.
he's gone back to Xander Cage.
Going back to Xander Cage for some reason. But at least clearly he knows that this is what works for him. And
I mean, I guess I look at him this way. He doesn't bring... Even the Van Dams and Segals, who were rubbish actors, they brought martial arts to the table. Like, at the very least, that's kind of why you were watching them, because they had a certain skill set that you were watching them for. Now, Arnie, he had screen presence and muscle,
But he at least had charisma too.
Yeah,
Like, even
and
with his
charisma.
line deliveries, you had the cheesiness that you need.
Stallone, a little bit the same. He always had a bit of charisma, and
can
Bruce
actually
Willis,
act when
same sort of
required.
thing. And he could act. Willis and Stallone could act a little bit, and there was always that cheeky bit of comedy to their stuff. I don't know what.
It's him and Seagal, the overly cocky action stars.
Infallible
That
ones,
are
yeah.
impossible to kill or shoot or hit. that.
But there's just nothing else to recommend him.
He brought one thing to the table, and it's the big body. That's about it. Oh well, he's got a deep voice, and someone
He can wear a tank top and a bob chain like no one.
Yeah. And someone thought that made an action star, and it doesn't. He just.
But he's rude enough to stick to his lane.
Yeah,
I'll give him that. He's been
but I think even Fast and the Furious, like it's done, like they did movies without him that obviously were successful enough to continue on with the series, even if they had to go and get him back. But that's like if I see a movie and I see Vin Diesel as the headliner, that's not getting me interested.
Yeah,
not at all.
I mean, you jumped it up the other day. Fast and the Furious decided, let's get rid of Diesel, Ludacris, and Tyrese. It would still live on.
Well, that's I kind of laugh when Tyrese and Vin Diesel are feuding with The Rock and talking about we're a family, we do this all together. It's nothing without everyone. It's like pretty sure the Hobbs and whatever it's called, the Statham and Rock spin-off is still going to go alright. Pretty sure it's going to get.
Dude, those two are the stars of the show now.
Yeah. So.
Well, that's basically what they did. They kind of rebooted, and they brought when The Rock had his sequel where he was the villain in it. Then they just parlayed into his success. So Diesel wasn't really. He's kind of headline, but he's not.
He's more of an anchor on the franchise now, I'd say.
He shouldn't be feuding with The Rock. He should be begging him to hang around for as long as we can, squeeze this era of the Fast and the Furious
The
movies
Rock
out.
must have been so pumped that they got Hobbs and Shaw off the ground, though. He's like, cool, I get to do this same movie, but without that knucklehead in the fucking way all the time trying to prove that he's as fucking manly as I am. Like,
he keeps coming into the dressing room and saying I should be wearing a yak jacket.
Instead of giving out, leather jackets to cast and crew, fucking jackets. We were all wondering what they were about.
it's the same jacket that Bane wears in Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Oh, it is too. That's right.
It's not the same, but it looks very similar. But Bane at least has the good sense to pop the collar.
And it's a little the fur is a little bit trimmed on Bane's too. It's not as unruly.
It's a shaved jacket. Alright, okay. That's XXX for us. If you want to get in contact with us, send us an email at thrillme@iinet.net.au. Like us on Facebook, Thrill Me Podcast Australia, at Podomatic at thrillme.podomatic.com, and on Instagram at thrillmepodcast. The next episode is Annabelle Creation.
I thought you were
Part
going to
of
say
the,
XXX 2 and 3 double pack.
Part of the Conjuring universe. I mean, this XXX scared me more than Annabelle. But until next time, take it easy. We'll catch everyone later. Cheers.
Find the podcast at Podomatic or on iTunes. Don't forget to rate and review. Like us on Facebook at Thrill Me Podcast Australia, or contact us at thrillme, all one word, all lowercase, at iinet.net.au.